Welcome to the free 12-week squat program. And if you are someone that has been plateaued on your squat, you're not satisfied with the progress you're making, or you just want to blow up your squat and get stronger, this is the video and program for you. So stay tuned. Now, this is my number one goal. I want you to get so much value. I want you to get so strong off of this program that you get stronger than any other squat program you've ever run. You get stronger than anything you've ever done. And even if you worked with a coach before, you get more on your squat by doing this than even working with them. Now, this is a program that I've ran for myself. It's a program I run for my lifters. It's allowed me to squat 650 pounds. It's allowed me to help many of my clients add anywhere from 50 to over 100 pounds to their squat. And I've had a lot of success using it and variations of it. So if you want to blow up your squat, watch the rest of this video and I'm gonna be breaking down for you the various things that you can do to customize it and execute it to the best of your ability so you can have similar results. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. I want to talk about some of my clients' results under this program and with working with me with the squat, just to show that this actually works. You want to know this works before running it. So here's some examples. Aaron has worked with me for about a year and he's gotten up to a 683 pound squat. He's put 100 pounds on. Logan, in 6 months, went from 400 to 500, adding 100 pounds to his squat. John went from about 420 to 507 in 7 months. He went from 550 to 628, 700 pounds, 70 pounds in a year. And the list goes on of the clients that I've helped get to over 500 pound squats, adding crazy things like 100 pounds in 6 months in Logan's case. So this just goes to show that this works, and if you want real results, run this and train hard. So here's the home page. You'll enter your squat max here, whether in kilos or pounds. You have some frequently asked questions that I'm answering. What does RPE mean? What is tempo? How to enter weights, whatnot. Here's the different RPEs. Just some basic questions that you may have about the program. Moving on, I have a dedicated sheet for all the accessory options you have in the program. Quads, primary quad movements, secondary quad movements, adductor movements, glute movements. All of these have a video that I made custom myself, uploaded to YouTube for you if you wonder, how can I do this movement more effectively? Because not only does the squat programming matter, but the accessory programming matters too, so that you can get the most out of this program. Moving on, we can look at the program here itself. It's 12 weeks and it consists of 3 4-week blocks. The first block, we run a heavy top set of triples, followed by 3x5 back downs at a set percentage. We then go on to our secondary day where we have a top set of 5 with a 3x7 set of back downs with a percent drop from the top set. So it's 4 weeks. We work up to a heavy triple at 8 to 8.5 on the first block with our heavy set of 5 on the second day at RPE 8. Moving to the next block, we run doubles and sets of 4. Back downs on the primary day stay the same rep range, but back downs on the secondary day are 1 rep less. We get up to 8.5 to 9 on the double, and then it's RP 8 for the set of 4. And then the final block, the single, right? We want to hit something big. You are going to RP 9.5 to 10, maxing out on this day. And then to finish the block on the secondary, you have a heavy triple where you can either go at RP 4 if you want to deload going into running this program again, or RP 8 again, and you can push a heavy triple to finish the block. So, you have 4 weeks. It's very consistent as far as volume. I don't make big changes from block to block, and that's one of the reasons I've had so much success with the people I work with, because I find consistent programming is what leads to consistent results. So triples, doubles, singles, sets of 5, sets of 4, sets of 3. That is the baseline. That is the template, the start. We can customize it, and I can go into that in a minute. But moving on to accessory work. I have this categorized as a primary squat accessory, a secondary squat accessory, an adductor accessory, and then a glute accessory. Now, if you wanted to make this program be an entire leg day for you, because it's 2 different leg days, I would add some hamstrings in here. But just because the hamstrings aren't a huge contributor in the squat, besides stabilizing it, I don't have a hamstring accessory. But something like a hamstring curl, the dumbbell RDL that's an option in here is okay for hamstrings and it's good. But I'm focusing on the squat and the squat muscles that are primarily used, being quads, adductors, and glutes. So looking at our primary squat accessories, we have several options here: hack squat, belt squat, pendulum, leg press, heel elevated, Smith machine squat. And I like to rank these in order of the ones that I think are best and have the best carryover for the squat. But all the ones I've listed in this program, I think are good accessories and ones that I give to my clients. So you can't go wrong with choosing these. So for the primary squat accessory, the goal here, we're trying to push something heavy, and in pushing it heavy, we're able to get even more stimulus for our low body, which is going to drive up our squat max. So really the key with this program is not only you're pushing the squat volume, you're also pushing these accessories, because those accessories are going to be key to blowing up your lower body. So secondary, quad accessory, we have various options here. All of them are solid. I would say something like a front foot elevated split squat, which I've got the video tutorial explaining everything behind it, is more of a restorative hip internal rotation exercise. The Smith machine sissy squat is more of a, trying to get full range of motion in the quads, maybe more of a pump, whereas the rest of these are meant to be pushed and overloaded heavy. Adductors, you've got the adductor machine, a great staple in a program. If you don't have access to it, something like cable hip adduction is great, or a Copenhagen plank. And then moving down to glutes, we've got various options from the hip thrust, 45 hypers with different variations, dumbbell RDLs, kickbacks, cable kickbacks. So many different accessory options, because I know you guys have different gyms, and I want you to be able to pick from things that you have access to or that you enjoy, so you can customize this for yourself. Now, how do we pick the days that we do? The way that I look at it is you would probably want to start by allowing for more recovery going into your primary day, which would be day one. That could look something like on Saturday, you hit your heaviest squat, and then your day two, which would be your lighter day, could be on a Tuesday. And this allows for you to have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday rest coming into the primary, more recovery, and a little bit less coming into the secondary day. That is how I would start. Now, if you find that you're coming into the primary day and you feel really recovered, but maybe the weights are feeling heavy, or maybe the movement doesn't feel practiced for you, it could be worth considering making that day be a little bit closer. Now, some additional considerations within this program, depending on where you're at in your training, how old you are, how you're leveraged, there's various things that we could adjust, and this is how I go about it with my own coaching. I make tweaks as I go for the client based on how they're built and their experience. So someone that may be really poor leveraged for a squat may not handle high reps, high sets very well. And for them, doing a 3x5 or 3x7 might be too much, and you could get away with doing maybe a 3x4 and then a 3x5 on this secondary day, not pushing the reps as high, or maybe just doing 2 sets on each day. So, if you're less advantaged for the squat, or if it's something that normally beats you up, it may be good to do a little bit less reps, a little bit less sets. If you're someone that doesn't do as much weight or is super efficient for the squat, you could add a set. You could do a 4x5 on the primary day. You could do a little bit more volume. You could maybe do a 4x6 or a 3x6. There's a lot of different ways that we could adjust this and take it and make it our own, but ultimately this is just the template. This is just the start, and you work your way from there and find what works. Now, the back downs on the secondary day are straightforward. You just subtract 13% from what you took on the top set. So if you took 100 pounds, you would subtract 13% from that, making it 87 pounds. So do that with what you will, with whatever weight you take. Primary day, though, I like to keep these back downs more consistent. So typically I would start at about 70%, but this is going to vary from lifter to lifter. If you're someone that's really strong and you're doing a lot of weight, it would be smarter to start in the lower, maybe 62, 64, 66% range and work your way up from there. Or if you're someone that's a lot lighter, or maybe your squat isn't as strong and you can handle pushing weight a bit more, maybe you would start this macro cycle with this being 74%. And each week it increases by about 3%. So in this case, with a lifter who has a squat max of 200 kilos, 440 pounds, they're going to be starting with 70% at roughly 307 pounds. And they're going to be adding about 10 pounds per week, with the week one being 307 on the first block. And by the final block, we would get up to about 360 for that volume. So for you, you could start the percentage a little lighter, a little higher. Here's how you'd edit it. You would double click on this, and then you could maybe go 60%. And that will adjust the entire program for you, all 3 blocks, making it very simple and easy for you to execute. All right, so that concludes the summary of how to run the program. Like I said in the beginning, I want you to get so much value. I want you to get so strong off of this that it's unlike anything you've ever ran before. And obviously, this is just a template. It's not going to be perfect for you, because the perfect program is one that takes into consideration everything about you, your needs, the days you have to train, your schedule, your sets, reps, intensity, all those things that you need tailored to you to get the best results. That's how I'm able to get such good results with the clients I work with, because I tailor it perfectly to them. So if that's something you're interested, you'd like to work with me, you can either fill out an application in the description for my coaching, or you can send me a message on Instagram and we can see if we're a good fit to work with each other. So thank you so much for watching the video, taking the time to get the program, reaching out. I really appreciate you. If you have any questions about how to run it, anything about it, leave a comment below the video or send me a message on Instagram and I'd love to help you out. So once again, thank you so much.